Hey guys, what's up? So today it's day 2 of foundation week, where every single day for 7 days I put up a new foundation video, whether it be a review, an updated review, or an actual first impressions like today. If you missed yesterday's video, make sure to go check it out. I will link it off down below in a playlist because we talked about the Dermacol foundation. I updated you guys. We did a cool does it cover it test. So make sure to go check that out. Today we're talking about the Covergirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir foundation. This is new. It's new at the drugstore. I found mine at Walmart. It's in a beautiful glass bottle. It has a pump. I'm really excited. This is all the rave right now, so I wanted to test it out for myself, see if it's really a good foundation. I kind of went really simple with my makeup today because I'm going to be doing so many things outside. We're going swimming, I have to wash the dogs. I'm really going to be testing out this foundation, and it gets about 112 outside easy during the day. So yeah, we're going to be seeing how well does this foundation actually last, how much does it cover, all of that information. So before I go through and tell you guys what this company claims or what CoverGirl says about this foundation, I'm just letting you know if you're trying to color match. I'll put down below in the description box a whole bunch of foundations that match me currently, high-end drugstore brands, so you can go check it out down below if you're trying to kind of figure out around what shade I am. I find that this foundation so far, I actually think it matches me really well. I found a really good shade match for myself. So yeah, a little bit about my skin. I have dry to normal skin. I do live in really hot weather though, so my foundations do break down and do get greasy because of how hot it is here, but I do get dry patches, and I have dry skin. I also have sensitive skin and it's acne prone, so I have to be careful what kind of foundations I put on. Some foundations just don't, they just make me break out if they're too greasy or too thick. So yeah, let's see what this company claims. So it's the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir foundation with vitamins and Solize sunscreen, and it has SPF 20. I got the shade 732, which is nude beige. This basically says it's lightweight, full coverage makeup. This formula hydrates and includes a complex of SPF 20, vitamins and antioxidants, but it is oil free. So it's supposed to be hydrating, but oil free. So if you get oily, you're supposed to be able to use it. So I'm super excited to try this foundation. I hope you are too. If you're excited for foundation week, you're excited for first impressions, give me a big old fat thumbs up. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. Let's do this. So it was so hard for me to find my actual shade in this because I tried to compare. What I usually do is I grab a bottle of like the Fit Me and I'll compare it to a bottle like underneath, and I found that CoverGirl was just so pink. I find that the colors were just so pink, and the Fit Me was more of like a yellow, like it fit me perfectly. So this is the shade I got, 732, and hopefully it fits me. I love the bottle, so beautiful. Just wish that they did better with like their undertones and had more of a variety. I feel like CoverGirl, they're very focused on their undertones, like the pinks, and yeah, so we'll see if this one fits me. It's 732. I'm gonna start out with the NYX Angel Veil Primer. It's a primer that I use often, and it doesn't really mess with, like, I know how it wears and how foundation wears, and it doesn't necessarily make foundation last longer for me. It just makes a nice canvas for my skin. Okay, I'm so incredibly excited. On one side, I'm gonna be using my Morphe Beauty Sponge. Yes, it's the first time I'm doing it. I'm using it. Let's just see, okay? So I have my Morphe sponge. On this other side, I'm gonna be using a brush, and I think I'm gonna be using, this Morphe brush. It's the Y6 brush. So this is what we're gonna be using on this side. And if this is too funky, I'll just go back and use my e.l.f. powder brush because this is what I always use, but I'm trying to give this little baby a break. So we'll see. We'll use one of these brushes and this on this side. And I am kind of like healing here. So we'll see how much coverage it gives me. Ooh, I like that it locks. I just realized like it locks and unlocks, locks and unlocks. I love that. Oh my gosh, you don't know how much I love that. My kids get into everything. It's not that liquidy. You can see it's like, it's not, it looks really, it's like thicker. All right, let's put it on and let's test it out and hopefully it matches. I like to do a little bit at a time to just to see the coverage with only a little bit. What the weird? This foundation, it smells like men's cologne. That's what it smells like. Am I like mixing up my scents? That was really gross when I'm never doing that again. Putting my finger up to my nose. That smells like men cologne. That's so odd. Okay, so I'm gonna use my sponge here to apply this. Yeah, totally smells like men's cologne, and I think this is gonna match good. Maybe I could have gone a little bit darker. I can still see stuff peeking through, boo-boo. I can still see, I don't have freckles, but I have like beauty marks. I can still see those peeking through. Every time I use a sponge though, I expect not to get as much coverage as I can with a brush. All right, let's go in with this brush, the Y6 brush. Let's try it out and see if it'll cover my little friend here. It smells wonderful, I'm not gonna lie. It smells really good, but I'm not so sure about this. I would say off the bat, medium coverage. I can still see my little guy there because he's dark. I'm gonna be clinging to that dry spot. It's not a big deal. I mean, a lot of my foundations do that. Like I have to really prep and prime that spot really good to get foundation not to stick to it. It's really rare when a foundation won't stick to like my dry spot. Yeah, like I feel like the foundation color is just, it's so pink. You guys see that? If I probably would have used a pore filling primer, it probably would have given me like porcelain looking skin. I've heard so many good things about this, so I hope I'm not let down. Let's see if it builds. I'll just build it with my brush. Yeah, it smells amazing. They were so smart to do that because it makes me like this foundation even more, or want to like it because it just smells so good. Is that lame? Am I the only one that's like that? Please tell me I'm not. I know I'm not. It's impossible. It built up a little bit. I still say it's like a high medium coverage, but I wouldn't keep on building it. I think I might even blend it in a little more nice with the sponge. Am I gonna be the only one that doesn't like this foundation? Is that what's gonna happen? Because I love the bottle, I love how it smells. It reminds me of, this is what this reminds me of. This reminds me of the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I hated that when I first tried it and everybody loved it. And then now as I start to try it, like the longer I tried it, the more I started to like it. So we'll see. I might have to do a review on this and update you guys. All right, so this is how my face looks after I applied it. I feel like it's a medium coverage. I do, maybe a medium high for some spots, but it didn't cover this guy at all. You can still see him, it's still shining through, but it covered some of my blemishes, and it did really good job of covering some other things. So I do think it's in like a medium high. That's what I'm gonna say. It's medium coverage for me. So it feels a little bit tacky, so I am gonna set it, but I'm gonna quickly just conceal. I'm just gonna use some of the Superstay Better Skin concealer. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set half of my face with the RCMA powder, because this will actually keep you matte, and I will be outside, and then half my face with this, and we'll see if it makes a difference. The powders make a difference, like, then we can really see, for those of my oily friends. So this is the RCMA side. And let's go in with this one here, which I love. Because this one lets the natural finish of the foundation kind of come through. I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and I'll be back. So I just finished the rest of my makeup. Now that I kind of look at my makeup, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about how it looks. I feel like I can see my pores and it looks kind of cakey to me. It reminds me so much of how I thought the True Match Lumi looked on my skin. Like, I didn't like how it sat on my skin. So we'll just have to see how it looks afterwards. Anytime that I have foundation that looks like that, I would spray like the Milani spray. I'm not gonna do that for you guys because then you can actually see what the foundation is gonna look like at the end of the night. So I thought I would bring you guys in really quickly before you guys can kind of see my skin up close. I don't know if you can see this little scabby guy here. It hasn't sunk into my fine lines yet, so we'll see. I'm gonna be doing check-ins throughout the day. It is about 10 o'clock right now, so I'll be back and check in 5 hours. And also I'm doing live check-ins on Instagram, so on Instagram and Snapchat, so always check there as well. But I'll be back. Okay, so it's been 4 hours. I'm about to go swimming, and we kind of did everything late, hence why I'm in my swimming suit. So I thought I would check in with you guys at 4 hours instead of 5 hours, because I wouldn't be here, and I'd rather check in earlier than later because you're gonna see me later. Anyways, so I went shopping. I did some shopping outside. Seriously felt like I was melting my face off as I was looking for the swimsuits in my laundry room that's like not part of the house. But anyways, so my skin is definitely glowy. I can just see it in the viewfinder. It's glowy. Personally, I think that this side isn't as glowy as this side. Remember, I used the RCMA on this side and the regular one on this side. I'm going to leave it to see how glowy I get in the sun, because tonight at like 5:30, whenever I go out, I am gonna re-powder my face because I'm gonna be going to like this activity where I'm gonna be teaching, helping my mother-in-law teach how to cook pizza. And so, yeah. I do want to say this. When I first applied this foundation, this is one of those foundations when you first apply it, maybe it doesn't look as good. And as good in bright lights. This is one of those foundations that when I first put it on in bright lights like this, when they're so close, like the ring light, all these lights, that it doesn't look the best. It looks a little bit cakey. But I applied thin layers, okay? But then in regular light, so irregular inside light, I would check myself outside specifically in the car, I would check myself in the mirror, and I loved it. It looks so good, so natural, so beautiful. It's kind of one of those that if you have bright lights in front of your face and someone in person is looking at you, it may look a little bit cakey, like you can tell you have makeup on. But like in the viewfinder, it looks good. In person, in regular light and sunlight, it really looks good. And I'm super impressed because there's a lot of foundations that don't look good in daylight, that look okay in regular light, but in the sun, or not even in the sun, where maybe you're in the shade, but it's daylight, it doesn't look good. It does look good. This one does. So I like it. I still would have put on a pore minimizing, even though now I can't really see my pores as much right here. I just see a tiny bit of texture. I still probably would have used a pore minimizing primer on top, but you can see I'm really glowy from just how hot it is here, but it's not breaking apart. Like usually it breaks apart here on my nose. It's not breaking apart. It's handling the heat very, very well. So that's really, really good. Also, this is one of the foundations, one of the best foundations for fine lines, because I have a lot of lines here, especially here, and like smile lines, because I do a lot of expressions. Even right now, I'm talking with a lot of expressions, and this isn't seeping through the lines. Like I can't even tell. Like I feel like I look healthy and younger. I don't have a lot of complaints. It's glowy, but it doesn't look oily to me. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts for now. I'll bring you guys in closer. You can kind of see what my skin looks like. Can you see how I still have some blush there? And like these lines, I usually have a bunch of lines here, and this one is always there, but this foundation probably does the best with the fine lines than any other foundation I've tried. So, I mean, and it hasn't lost any coverage yet. Like it didn't have a whole lot of coverage to begin with, but it hasn't lost any of it. So, I'm gonna be back at the 7-hour mark, so 3 more hours, because then I'm gonna go to my next event thing that I'm doing. But yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so it's 5:30. I wanted to show you guys what my face looks like before I set it again and add some more blush because I'm going out. It is super glowy, oily. Not that it's oil, but it's more of how hot it is here that's causing it. But even with that said, even though it looks like greasy, it's not breaking down on me. It still looks intact. All I have to do is set it, and it's probably gonna look really good. So I have to do this with every foundation because in the summertime, because it's so hot here. There you go. And it still looks so good. I mean, I haven't lost much coverage. I think I lost a little bit right here and around my nose because I blew my nose earlier. But besides that, my little scabby friend is still covered. I mean, this doesn't, it's such a thin powder. I think it's colored, but it doesn't add coverage. So I love it so far. The foundation is holding up so good. Okay, so it's the end of the night. It has been, let me count how many hours. 12 hours, okay. It's been 12 hours, it's 10 p.m. This is how my foundation looks. I mean, I don't think it looks that bad. It's glowy again. I only powdered it one time because I had to. I think that in the winter this is gonna be a great foundation. I mean, it's a good one right now, but I'm surprised that this little guy hasn't lost as much coverage as it thought. Like I can see my skin in some parts, but in some parts I can't. Like in some parts I still have coverage. So I'm super impressed with this foundation. I'm so excited to keep on trying this. This is a really good shade match. It didn't oxidize. It's perfect. So I am so happy. I am so happy. I'm giving you guys a big old thumbs up. But I'll obviously do a review if you guys want later. But right now I'm telling you, I like this foundation. So I'm super excited. Make sure that you come back tomorrow for another day of foundation where I'm going to be doing a review on a foundation. So make sure you come back tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to notify you. And yeah, happy foundation week. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.